Here is Chris with today's topic.
Now, moving on to the other major news that we think we're going to hear at the beginning of 2026, I want to move on to Clyra,
Sure.
which is your medical product subsidiary. You've done a
Right.
lot of work there. You've got a couple of very unique wound care products, one of them especially that
Yep.
is about to come out of the gate
Yeah.
and potentially be your biggest revenue generator that the company has ever seen.
It
Uh,
better be.
The
This is
prior one we're going to wrap up with in a few minutes,
sure.
but we're going to talk about Clyra now. And before we get into that update, also one of the links that you're going to have, folks, attached to the video will be a conversation that Dennis and I had with Steve Harrison, who is
Yep.
the CEO of BioLargo's Clyra subsidiary. That particular subsidiary you're the board chairman of, but
That's right.
Steve is the CEO. I'm looking forward to meeting Steve because he lives across the state from me here in Florida.
Awesome.
So at some point, our paths are going to cross this winter. But that's some really cool, exciting stuff. Watch that video when you can, folks. But basically, you've here again built a better mousetrap than the standard of care for wound care products out there right now. So give us a quick Cliff Notes
Yeah.
version for present purposes of that, and then what you're seeing for the beginning of the year.
Sure. So Clyra Medical is a med device. So that's a 510(k) clearance route for a med device. And we've got about 13 years of direct investment. It's an idea that's over 20 years old, if you can believe it. And 13 years to get the product to market is crazy difficult. I mean, I just got to tell you, it goes back to that enabling policy strategy conversation because as an innovator, you're facing the valley of death. So we're passing the valley of death right now. And we're coming through it, okay? Why? Well, because number one, it's a great technology that fills a gap in the market. So what is that? We believe it has a chance to become the standard of care. I mean, just that's a big claim. The standard of care for what? Wound care and infection control. Wound care and infection control. And its basic thesis is so compelling. It provides a gold standard antimicrobial activity. Gold standard. That means it matches number one in the world, but it does no harm. Okay, now that's a powerful combination. There's other features that add to that. It's got proven results to show that it can disrupt biofilm. It has shown to be active for up to 3 days in a closed environment. And when you couple that broad spectrum efficacy for its antimicrobial activity with its safety profile and 3 days and biofilm, the combination makes it number one in the world. It's that simple, okay? And so what do you do with that? Well, you put it in and on the body, in and on the body. And because it's so gentle, it doesn't have local sensitivity or systemic toxicity. Because it's got broad spectrum, it can be naturally resorbed into the body, but it provides this incredible tool to help avoid infection. And it turns out that with that toolkit, especially in sensitive skin, you're able to provide that support without damaging the tissue. Are you kidding me? That's a game changer. And so it's that feature group. It's not one thing, it's all those things that make it so uniquely well suited for the marketplace that we're going. So there's two channels, wound and burn, and then infection control in the surgical suite. Both
Yeah,
of those have,
Dennis, before you move on with that, and folks, watch the video that
yeah,
Dennis, Steve, and I did. Goes into a lot more detail. I'll also have links to Clear's own website so you can look at the science. This is some great stuff, a phenomenal game-changing product that we could talk all day just about it and
oh
its
yeah.
attributes.
Well, in fact, our argument is that it's worth more than the entire company right now. I mean, right?
Yeah,
Our valuation is a disconnect. That's the bull case debate we go through all the time. And this one really drives it home because it's now the market likes to think and go and no go. It's like it's not quite that easy. I mean, this is a multi-pronged technology platform that can go create 50 products. Okay. It's got legs, okay? Dermatology, wound, burn, surgical suite, gauzes, gels, therapeutics eventually. We're not in the therapeutic business yet. All of these things are going to come as a result of this technology. And what you do as an innovator is you need to find the spot where the value, perceived value, and the gap is so strong that the market can pull you in. See, that same thing. We're talking about that enabling thing. This is why it takes so long. because the barrier is so high. And we've invested almost 20 million. I mean, it's just a lot of money to get this technology to market. So we got what we call an organic strategy, which is traditional distribution. So we wholesale it as a manufacturer. Distributors buy it and they set up sales organizations through their existing infrastructure. That's an organic. That's underway already. And here domestic US, and we're going to queue up Europe and Northern Africa and Middle East next. And those are really close. We're about 75% through the regulatory process to get the CE mark that allows us to then set up global distribution in that category. We've invested heavily in contract manufacturing partnerships that allow us to scale to a very large million plus units per product per year. Okay, just make this big business. Okay. And then this local development is really the nuts and bolts of distributors who are technical experts in the field, bringing our product to their existing customers. That's the game. Okay. So all that's underway. And then in Q1, we'll have our first presentations of what's called clinical evidence that will come from KOLs. KOLs are key opinion leaders. So that's scheduled in Q1, because we know all that work is already being done because we have market ready product. We also just had our first production run that came off the line about 6 days ago, maybe 7 days ago. And so that means inventory is now available. First orders are in the process. We won't book revenue until we ship them. And they're not massive, but hey, they're in the game. Here we go.
Right.
We're in the game. Commercial, that's the key, right? Commercial focus and commercial execution. Clyra has a chance, we believe, to create a valuation that'll be far north of $500 million to $1 billion for the portfolio easily. I just want to make sure it's really clear. Easily, if you chalked up all the different market categories and which we could touch, it's easily a $3 or $4 billion a year business. I mean, this is big business, especially if it can become the standard of care in a market. And so, how do you get there? Well, you start with one, and then you expand. I mean, that's what we're doing, and it took a long time. I believe it's the full circle story of the company that frankly makes the entire business worth the work that we've done and the sacrifice that we've made to be here. And this is going to be the one where they say, I guess they're not so crazy after all. Just so you know, that's the way I think about it. And I say, yeah, we knew it was going to happen. We've always known this is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's why we could do it. If you didn't know, you wouldn't do it. You're not hoping. You're working through a process of execution to see that product so perfectly situated for adoption and support and economics that drive it to significance. That's where Clear is at.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about that and about hitting that commercialization stride early in the new year. That's going to be a big deal for the company and replace
Oh yeah.
probably a few times over or more revenue that regrettably was recently lost